Hi, my name is Anirudh, and I built Corpus, the immune system for your code. 42% of code is now AI generated, and only 3% of developers actually trust to use that code. And here's the problem. When you use Cloud Code or Cursor to build your app, there is no layer between the AI generating the code and the code that is shipping. You describe what you want, the AI builds it, and nobody reads what it writes. And when things break in production, nobody can predict it. So that's why we have Corpus, the immune system for vibe coded software. Corpus sits between your AI and your code base. When your AI writes code, Corpus intercepts every file change in real time through its MCP. It runs multiple layers of defense in milliseconds. For example, graph contracts, CVE pattern detection, hallucinated dependency detection, pattern intelligence, and so on and so forth. So the way you use Corpus is you do an npm install and then you do Corpus in it. And within milliseconds, Corpus goes through your code and starts its MCP watcher. And every time anything changes, you are kept in the loop. Here's a We've learned based on public repos. So we've indexed over 250 repos and worked on it. So Corpus understands. So it auto scans your code base and builds a structural graph. It watches. So hooks into Cloud Code and Cursor via MCPs and watches everything that's happening and then shows you a visual graph of your entire project. So here are some real-time stats. So we have tracked 30 CVE patterns, 711 vulnerabilities, 12,000 packages have been verified, and we found 49 violations that were within our own code of Corpus, and we self-healed Corpus's code. Let me show you something interesting. So here's the evolution of how Corpus worked and how I trained it overnight. So we ran Corpus through an iteration of repos that auto scan. And then Corpus automatically learned things like these. So about how eval usages are suppressed only in test evals and like hard-coded IPs exist. But yeah, this is how Corpus keeps getting smarter and then makes your code smarter. So we have 10 jackwalkers that are guarding your AI agent. We use jackwalkers for policy evaluation because it is deterministic, graph native, and composable. So we have policy walkers that enforce action safety, rate card injection, exfiltration, etc. And you can write your own policy within 5 lines. Let me run through some demos. So here is how the immune system works. So Claude writes the code, Corpus intercepts, it sees these violations, and then calls a hook, Claude auto fixes it, and then Corpus auto checks it. So the other thing is that we have a real-time dashboard. Once you initiate with your repo, as soon as something is changing within your code, Corpus is immediately intercepting and flagging those violations. And as soon as it is flagged, it is then talking to your coding agent and getting it solved. So yeah, that's Corpus, and I'm happy to share more.